I've been I've been thinking about this relationship that we have between meditation, like awareness, and the nervous system, subtle energy body, reactive body, even physical body. And the reason I decided to make this video, and I'm not really sure where this video is going to go, is to address a bit of a schism, bit of a, in many ways, misunderstanding or false hope that people have about awakening, spirituality in general, in many ways, enlightenment, non-duality, self-realization, any and all of the above, and how in many ways, I have spoken to this before, of course, in many ways there's a secret or false hope, imagination, desire even, that once awakening is known or somehow fully embraced, then there won't be any more problems with the reactive body, the nervous system, the subtle energy body, you know, the whole of the issue with the contorted reactive self. And so many on the spiritual path don't ever really address the nervous system, let's say. It's sort of more appealing to go straight towards the light and to chase the light wherever it may go, in the hope that the light will fix us. And that's, that happens for a lot of people, rather than turning around and heading into what seems to be the darkness, the nervous system, the deep body, the deep pain body. But this relationship between the two is almost, as important as anything else. If a balanced life, if a balanced way of being, if a natural way of being is what is being sought, then one has to, deepen into awareness, into presence, through meditation, through practice, but through inquiry, through self-inquiry, through reading, through all of these kind of, very deep and ongoing, I don't like to use the word practices, but they are kind of practices, giving attention to all of these areas of our life. And so that's one area, if you like, the meditation, the awareness, the presence, turning my attention to the question of who am I and what is consciousness and what is this awareness that seems to be present but occluded by the self. So there's this journey, but in many ways that needs to be the holder, the container, the bowl in which other more material work, more work to do with the physical manifestation of us, work to do with how we've become raveled up in the nervous system, the reactive body, the pain body, all of the buried emotion, all of the tightness and the contortion, all of this kind of tightness, the addictive self, all of these aspects of ourself which in many ways run the show. So you can't avoid that simply by going to the light, because this is actually, in many ways, what's running the show. So it can't be neglected, it can't be bypassed, although a lot of spirituality seems to attempt to bypass, the physical human experience But in my experience anyway, it can't be bypassed. And if it can't be bypassed, then, you know, surely a better approach would be to embrace it. The danger, if one just focuses on the nervous system, on the subtle energy body, or even on the physical body and diet and detox and all of this, or therapy, or all of the fixing stuff, is that, you know, it focuses on the self, the me. I've got to do this, I'm going to be healed, I'm going to get better, I'm going to this, I'm going to that. And it becomes very me-oriented. And when it's not held in the bowl of a deeper awareness and meditation, then it too ends up going around and around and around and around on itself. Because ultimately, you know, the fact is that the self, you know, is broken in many ways. We don't have to get, you know, depressed about that, but the wounds are real, the wounds are carried, the wounds are known. But when we only know ourselves as wounded, then we have a bit of a problem, because we want to escape that all the time. But when we know ourselves as unwounded, innocent, clear, the awareness of what is, the totality of being, and that allows the wounded self to relax a little bit. That's just an aspect of the totality of us. We are these almost dualistic beings, except it's not dualistic. There is the bowl. I am the bowl. I am. I am. I am existence. I am eternity. I am consciousness. I am the ocean. I am the ocean of being. I am awareness itself. I am presence. I am form. I am human. I am a body. I am a nervous system. I have wounds. I will die. I am impermanent. Which one is it? Or is it both? Are both just one thing? The totality of being? Why, yes, they are. And when we move away from thinking in this dualistic way, then something deeper happens. And the bowl of our totality allows the healing and facilitates the relaxing of the me self. Kind of falls into its rightful place. We become much more of the natural essence that we truly are. This is very beautiful. I mean, in many ways, you know, there weren't and haven't been many teachers who have recognized, and, you know, certainly in the past, sages recognized this need to address both aspects. And the one that I came upon, regardless of what you believe about Osho, is Osho, because Osho understood one thing. He understood many things, but he understood this, that the Western mind, and he was speaking a lot to the Western psyche and the Western mind, is so agitated, so repressed, so conditioned, that even with a lifetime of meditation, there may be no real breakthrough into the enlightened state, or the awakened state, or the liberated state, or the equanimous state. And so he created the moving active meditations in order to attend to the shaking up of the Kundalini energy and the sexually repressed base energy of us in the first two chakras, to shake up that energy and then to meditate. Meditate, shake it up. Meditate, cathartic it. Meditate, go crazy. Meditate, be human, be wild, and then come back to the meditation. And regardless of what you think, like I say, about Osho, what you've heard, what the rumours are, all that stuff, that was a master stroke in so many ways, because it gave us something to work with. Because it wasn't just catharsis for the self, it was catharsis held in the bowl of meditation. Because if you shake up, and when we used to, Amoda and I, we used to do this stuff, you know, we used to work and run workshops back in London in the early 2000s, and it had the same effect. Because if you sit in silence and then you shake it all up, scream, go wild, smash the pillow, all this kind of stuff, and then you come back, energy starts to dissolve and something deeper happens. And that's why I wanted to make this this video, to bring understanding to the fact that the nervous system and all its raveled upness cannot be excluded from the spiritual journey if we want that spiritual journey to filter into our real lives and to actually attend in many ways to the reactive self. Because the reactive self doesn't just vanish in the hope of some future awakening. If you go towards the light, towards the light, towards the light, you know something will happen. It will happen. And that's the path of awareness, and there's a kind of direct path. And this is fabulous. This is, exquisite. But if you've had a life that's coiled you up like a tight wire, because of ancestral stuff, because of family stuff, because of, all of the abuses that have happened, that can't be neglected, man. It can't be just, whitewashed over, because it also wants to come home to the love that you're seeking, to the light that you're searching for. In many ways, a total flip of that way of thinking is a really worthy idea. To recognize and to consider the possibility that the light we seek is in the darkness of our wounds, is in the seeming impenetrability. Inside the impenetrable nature of our wounds, seemingly, is the light that we seek, is the love that we seek, is the harmony that we seek, is the peace that we seek. We have to enter the darkness of the wound in order to discover the light that we thought was over there. Because it's not over there, it's in there. It's got to be included, it's got to be an inclusive journey. And in that sense, and this is why I'm coming to this, that awareness itself is medicine. Awareness becomes a medicine, not a fix, not a band-aid, not a denial, but awareness itself becomes a medicine. Because the deeper awareness goes, the more that everything has the capacity to start relaxing and relaxing and relaxing. It doesn't happen all at once, because everything takes time, especially when it's got anything to do with the nervous system or the physical body or the subtle energy body. It coiled up over time, and it uncoils generally over time. There's not much that can be done about that, because that's just the way it is. But awareness allows that process to start taking place, because awareness at a certain point is not just a cold, dry state, it's actually a deep relaxation. Awareness as deep relaxation allows the nervous system to start relaxing. So let me finish off with reading you this. Awareness as a medicine, not a fix. We're so conditioned to fix, to correct, adjust, and optimize. Even in meditation, there's often a subtle effort to change something, to make the body calm, the mind still, the heart open. But awareness is not a tool of control. It's not another strategy. It's more like a warm presence, a medicine, not a remedy, a loving witness, not a surgeon. When awareness touches the nervous system without agenda, when it doesn't demand that the tightness unravel or the breath deepen, something miraculous begins to happen. The system feels met, not pushed, not managed, just seen. Imagine a wild animal, cornered and trembling. What helps it come out of hiding? Not commands or techniques, but the soft light of patience. Gentle presence, stillness without force. Let awareness be like that, the sun on a coiled animal, inviting it to uncurl in its own time. This is the beginning of true healing, not by doing something, but by being with what is, in a field of unconditional welcome. This is a whole different way of thinking about the nervous system. It doesn't deny any of the cathartic processes or any of this stuff that's going on in the contemporary society, but it does invite the possibility that awareness itself as a loving, warm presence can simply allow and be with what is arising. And if we can return to that again and again and again, something really deep starts to happen. Awareness is a medicine, not a remedy, a medicine. And the true medicine is like a homeopathic medicine. It goes in, and then things start to intelligently heal as if by themselves. This has nothing to do with mind. And many people I meet on the path need to start getting out of mind's fixation. Mind's fixation goes round and round and round and round and round, because that's what we've learned. And most of this awareness has nothing to do with mind. It's deeper than mind. Mind arises within awareness as an aspect of awareness, but it is not awareness. So come out of mind, come out of emotion, and go deeper into a deeper allowing. Then things start to heal, almost as if by themselves. Bless you.